Welcome. We're so incredibly grateful that you've taken the time to invest in our church by taking your next step in serving. Our production teams often go unseen, but are the backbone of every experience. Our work is vital to the success of our weekends. The computer graphics operator is the ultimate multitasker position, often handling many things at once. And although it may not seem like much to click a spacebar or graphics, this position directly affects the atmosphere in which people worship. Let's just get a reminder of our team values. We love God through preparing our hearts for worship and our minds for excellence. We love people by facilitating creative, distraction-free worship environments. We discover purpose by deepening our skills and developing others. And we win the world by making God's truth accessible in a digital age. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is Planning Center. Planning Center is the center of everything we do on our weekend experiences. You receive an invite to join Planning Center from your campus producer when you join the team. Planning Center shows the service flow, the team for that weekend, and what position you're scheduled for. In this instance, it'll say computer operator. Paper copies of service flow are found at your position. It's a quick reference of what's up next in the service and something for you to use whenever needed. Next, let's talk about ProPresenter. In ProPresenter, you'll find outputs, clear buttons, media, macros, setlist, and more, which can all seem incredibly overwhelming. The most important thing to be aware of is the workspace in front of you, where you find the content within each playlist. Our philosophy is that you think ahead. When one song ends, quickly transition to the next to keep vocalists' minds at ease. Speaking of which, let's talk about running lyrics. Timing is key. You have to think about what it looks like to the audience. The room relies on lyrics to sing along to the songs. You directly affect the atmosphere of worship. A missed lyric can mean a wandering mind to those attending. Now, let's talk about what it looks like to the vocalists. The vocalists rely on the lyrics when perhaps they get a little distracted or they need a little help getting back on track. What you do affects everyone, and it's important to be mindful of that. Additionally, let's talk about running content for hosting, gospel, generosity, closing, and other elements. Specifically at multi-sites, you're responsible for communicator notes and the graphics behind each. You are also responsible for firing videos, which could include countdowns, lyric videos, generosity content, and more. You should coordinate with your experienced director and campus producer on when these need to be fired. In addition, let's talk about graphics, specifically for worship, hosting, message, gospel, generosity, and closing. For worship, content should fire on its own by way of MIDI notes. However, you should always be prepared should this not work. Let's talk about what this looks like for the broadcast campus. During the message, you're responsible for lower thirds for the communicator, which are typically consisting of specific points or most of the time scripture that's being referenced by the platform communicator. You should be mindful when they go up and for how long. We strive to add but not distract from the message. There's also name lower thirds, content that comes in the bottom left of the screen when a communicator is on stage. The video director will tell you when to fire these. Side thirds. Side thirds are content that flies in from the right side of the screen, typically a long point or a piece of content that we really want to emphasize. It's important to coordinate with the video director when these are used. Now that you know more about the computer graphics position, we want to say thank you for taking your next step in serving, and I can't wait to see you at your campus.